He comes in with a record of no wins, 1 defeat. He's a mixed martial artist who weighed in 156 pounds, fighting out of Miami, Florida. Here is Danny Vega! And across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This man is making his professional mixed martial arts debut. He's a freestyle fighter, weighed in 155.8 pounds, fighting out of Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, a U23 world champion in freestyle wrestling, 2-time NCAA qualifier at Rutgers University, the 2-time All-American Junior, Richie Lewis. And when the action begins, your referee, Andrew Glenn.
All right, gentlemen, you got the rules in the back. Any question about the rules? Follow my instructions, protect yourself. You want to touch them up, do it there. Step back.
All right, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. I'll tell you this, obviously Richie's going to have the takedown when he needs it. It's going to be tough for Danny Vega to stuff this kind of takedown. But will Richie test his hands?
That's what we're about to find out right now.
Yeah, talking to him, he says he wants to gauge where his striking's at. So I look forward to seeing him stand up.
Yeah, no doubt. We all know he can wrestle, and we're about to find out right now. He lands a solid leg kick, so we know he gets some kicks. Let's find out how he got his hands.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what we're pretty much all expecting. We know that he is an absolute savage. That's his nickname. I mean, beast wrestler. This is what the fans came to see, an absolute dominant, absolute beast, and that's what we got right here. And he's on top looking for the finish.
And, Vega's no slug, you guys. I mean, Vega's fighting out of a great school, so for him to be kind of already ragdolling Vega a little bit here, kind of slinging him around, that says a lot.
I mean, look at his top pressure. That's just, it's 101 wrestling. He's got the guy pinned, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is it. And the cool thing now is that we never got to see him do before is we get to see him punch. We get to see him get these dominant wrestling positions and lay down the hammer and lay down the fist. And I don't know, because I didn't wrestle my whole life, but, I feel like it's everybody's thing. Like, when you get on top, to get that position, what you really want to do is you really want to hit the guy. Yeah. And now, then MMA, you get to do that. So this is what it's all about, man. What do you think?
Dude, it looks like he's implementing his game plan perfectly, though. I mean, if you're this guy on bottom, you got to be kind of freaking out here, right?
Yeah, now we get that mount position. And, this would be a pin in wrestling, but now he gets the rain down strikes right here, and I think he's going to finish him right here.
That's what he's wanted to do, like you said.
This is ugly already. It must be nice being this early in the round and in the fight. They're so dry,
Yeah, man, this is dominant performance by a dominant fighter right now. This is the best thing. We get to see the debut. All these people in attendance getting to witness, a future superstar in the making. And, the UFC's tuned in on Fight Pass. The whole world in Miami's going crazy right now.
Richie Savage Lewis is beating down Danny Vega right now. Plenty of time, too. 3 minutes left for him to do his work and try to stop Danny Vega here in the opener.
Yeah, no doubt. And all of USA Wrestling, this is a guy that represents our country, something I have a lot of respect for. And, he's down here in Miami showing out. We got Pat Downey next to us, live on the commentating booth. Another guy that represents our country, USA, and fights for our country. So, man, we get to witness a real treat tonight. It must be fun for you, watching your buddy, guy that you put hours and hours on the road. Man, we get to witness a real treat tonight. It must be fun for you, watching your buddy, guy that you put hours and hours on the mat and worked with in your life to see him there, putting in work.
Look how he's trapped that left hand. Man. Sorry, Pat. Go ahead.
That's great technique. You're calling it. I was going to comment on that earlier, but it's honestly inspiring. The guy, a couple years younger than me, starting. Obviously I'm going to transition after these Olympics, but just seeing him lay the groundwork for what's to come. Nice.
Is he going to get up? Oh, wow. Oh, someone's going to be mad at him. We let him off his back, but you know what? This is it. This is what experience is about. If he goes out there, he throws one slam and finishes the fight, he doesn't get the experience. This is why he's fighting, to see if he can persevere and get through that first round, feel that adrenaline rush, what it feels like to get punched in the face and keep moving forward. And now we got a fight on our hands.
Danny Vega's trained by Daniel Valverde on the ground, and that talk about no slug. Daniel Valverde's one of the best around, so I'm sure he's been putting him in really bad situations for the last 2 months. I bet he made his camp a hell because, that Vega was going to be in bad positions.
Yeah, I mean, in these MMA fights is a different type of cardio, man. It's just different than anything else. You know, I mean, I've done jiu-jitsu. You know, I've done jiu-jitsu tournaments before I fought, and you get that adrenaline rush. But there's no rush like an MMA fight.
That was one thing I wanted to see if it did go a little bit further than the first 2 minutes, is see if he would suffer from any adrenaline dumps, and it seems to be the guy weathered his storm very well. You gotta give credit. I mean,
yeah,
he took some tough shots. Look at his face, but he's a tough dude. And
yeah, I mean, he's in there against a durable veteran, man. This guy has some fights under his belt. He's training under a top team at MMA Masters under real good coaches. I mean, Cesar Pinheiro, Daniel Valverde, black belt in jiu-jitsu. I mean, he's training with the top guys too, you know. And and I mean, everyone's here, you know, and wants Richie Lewis to win. But this is the type of first fight that he wants. He's gonna have to know that after this fight is how he's feeling right now and what he's fighting through right now to get this win. And we got a fight on our hands.
I don't think people understand what you're saying when he's a tough cat that Richie's up against. Not many people. It's a testament to Richie's level. Who do you know in the game's coming out debuting 0-0 record against a guy like this? So you don't really see that.
100%, man. They didn't give him a tomato can. He's in there against a real fighter.
Right.
And man, we got a real fight on our hands.
Wow, that was an awful lot of fun. That was just
cage side at Titan FC. What an explosive first round. Now Richie's in there making his pro debut, and he is just a natural in there. It seems like he's been doing this for years. Now for Danny, I see him, he needs to keep it on the feet. He needs to pick his punches, keep his distance, maybe throw a couple kicks in there. Now when it comes to Richie, he is just like his name, a straight savage. He is in there wrestling, doing the takedowns, and he just needs to keep doing his ground and pound.
all right. Thank you very much, Olive Power, our cage side feature reporter, new member of the team here at Titan FC, bringing those insights cage side. Glad you guys just tuned in. USA National Champ Pat Downey is also here with us. Pat, did you ever dabble in any cage stuff? You know, kind of dying to get in there yourself?
I've done a lot of training, being a high level, bigger guy wrestler, getting brought in to be part of camps.
Yeah.
You know, and with that comes quite a bit of sparring. But I'm excited to taste the real thing, man.
When do you think we can see you
Let's
in there?
sign him up, baby.
FC cage.
I'm looking for some action this summer, right after these Tokyo Olympics, man. So,
that'd be great.
That's the plan right there. So.
Titan FC, man. You gotta fight for us. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, Richie's throwing some head kicks in there, man.
Did not see that coming.
Oof. So, man, now, I mean, we're getting to see Richie show off some of his stand-up, and he looks, he looks composed, he looks strong, he's throwing good 1-2s, good kicks, he's in there, but, I mean, the thing is, this isn't a time to start practicing, punches and kicks. I mean, maybe just to see how you do and if you have to, but you got to win this fight. You got to go in there and you got to do what you're best at and what works for you, and you need to get this W.
I'd like to see him go back to his game, too. This is good, though, I think this is more for him and his own confidence. But I'd really like to see him get back to a takedown here.
Yeah, once you get hit with those shots, then your instincts come into play, and that's what he's doing now. He got that single leg, he's back to his wrestling, and he's working that takedown.
Where's that trip? Hook.
And
finish big. You'd like to see him get his head up here out of the.
He has to watch this guillotine right here on the finish, but
clean back
big
take.
Slam.
Beautiful finish. That head comes up and his hips get in. That's really good wrestling.
So what does he want to do right here? Like, you being a wrestler looking, and he got this body lock. What's he trying to do here?
See him looking for forward pressure, which is the right idea. Step on that toe. I'd like to see a spiral ride action for a breakdown. This guy's using the kick. Exactly. See how he gets that back now? He's down. This guy's doing a great job of wrestling back into the position. Richie wants to get his weight onto the guy's hands.
And I mean, it must be a little different, too, having the cage. Like, you guys wrestle in an open mat. There's no cage, right? So when you guys get exposed to this new cage wrestling, and the cage is bouncy. You feel it, you bounce off it, you hit it, your head gets pinned up against it. Is it a lot different when you wrestle?
And it hurts. That's my big thing. Is like I was like, oh, I'll bounce right off this cage. Yeah, no, you won't. You pay for it. So Richie really did a good job of using that cage to his advantage, I think, right there, though.
Yeah, he has to fight back to where he wants it, on top, doing damage. And man, Danny Vega, man, is no slouch.
He's
man.
giving him a fight.
It's like he's going against a world champion wrestler, and he's fighting takedowns. He's fighting him off. He's not making it easy for him, and he's here to win. I mean, he's wearing it on his face right now a little bit. He has a big lump over his left eye, big black eye. It looks like his eye's swollen shut a little bit. But man, he's fighting for his life, and he's trying to get this W, hunting for submissions and everything off his back.
Good on Danny Vega. He knew about the hype. He knew about all of the prowess and all of the accolades and all of the awards that Richie Savage Lewis had won, and he took the fight anyway. He said, yeah, I think I got a shot at this thing.
Yeah, man, respect to that, man. I mean, everybody wants to be the guy that comes into the fight, the favorite. Nobody wants to take the hard fight sometimes, you know. They're like, oh, we want in, let me get this guy that's a losing record. And, man, hats off to this kid, respect. I mean, if he takes out a guy like Richie Savage Lewis, he's on the map. Regardless of his losing record, he comes off and he gets a big win over a guy like that, the whole world knows who he is.
Yeah, it's really a no-lose situation. You're right.
Got to give credit where it's due, because Richie had a hell of a time even finding a fight. Who wants to risk their record against a 0-0 high-level wrestler?
Well, he's found a fight now for sure.
He's got himself one tonight, huh?
He got one, dude. He got what he asked for.
Yeah, he's a savage. So believe that he's gonna come out of there with a smile. This is exactly what he wanted.
I can almost guarantee you, we're in the second round. We got a minute left. That he probably thought it was going to go a little bit quicker than this. I feel it. But, he's working through these fights. He's working through it. And this is probably, it's probably not what his coaches want. I'm sure his coaches want him to go there and just knock him out or slam him on his head, get a submission. But for him as a fighter, me coming up, an experienced fighter, knowing what it's like to come up through the amateurs. I had 20 amateur fights through the pros. Like, every second in the cage is so vital, because it's very rare. It's so hard to get fights. You only fight 3 or 4 times a year, maybe sometimes, and every second in the cage is such experience level, and he's absorbing it right now and soaking it in.
That was a great knee. Oh my, that hurt me.
Side control for the Savage, and this is a situation he's been in. Oh, now full mount.
Oh yeah. 15 left. See if he can make it happen.
So what he wants to do here is he wants to get distance and rain down strike. This is something that's confusing. In wrestling, this is a dominant position. But in MMA, you need to create posture, create distance, and land big, powerful shots.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments he gets in between rounds 2 and 3. Whether they say to go back to your bread and butter earlier, no more testing of the hands.
Hey, so what's going on right there, Pat? He's looking for this leg. I can see he's looking for the pull.
Right here, you see he fixes his position, gets his head up, hips come in, slam. Able to float that over, avoid a guillotine entirely. That was really clean wrestling. And he uses the cage later on to secure that takedown. But yeah, Charles, like you were saying earlier, man, with your activity time in the ring, obviously I think Richie and his coaches would have kind of liked or wanted that early finish. But sometimes we get what we need, and I think this is going to be way more beneficial for his development than a quick knockout or beat up of a slug. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
He's got a quality opponent.
He's going in there. Now he knows what it's like. I mean, he's a fighter now. He's not just a wrestler. After going through those two rounds, no matter what happens in this third round, he's a fighter, and he's proven himself. He's been in there for 2 hard rounds, and now he's going into the third. And I'm sure, his corner's telling him to try to get that finish, because that's, I'm sure, what he was planning for. But like we said, man, Danny Vega's not going away, man. This kid is absolute nails. He's wearing 2 swollen eyes shut, and he's still throwing hard right hands and hard shots, and he's still on his feet.
Well, I'm a wrestler still, but from watching, I gotta say it's 2-0 Richie. So Danny Vega's probably.
I don't think anybody would disagree with
that.
Yeah,
he's probably. We could expect the kitchen sink here, no? Ooh.
I mean, what do you think is going through his head right now, knowing that all the damage that he's put on this guy and he's still standing?
That was my question to you. As a quarter man, what are you telling him?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, in wrestling, you can just dominate a guy, but he gets up. He's not. Usually doesn't have 2 black eyes. He's not bleeding from his nose. But I mean, of course, he's looking. Oh, nice trip.
Beautiful. I mean, you just see it back to the Wrestling 101.
You know, Charles, you said something very important. It's that kill at the end, right? Like the wrestling is so good for getting position and getting your opponent where you want him. But like it's kind of counterintuitive now with all that wrestling. Like he wanted to come in, but you were saying he needs to push away.
Yeah.
He needs to rain down the punches.
And there's no doubt. I mean, that's the coach's responsibility, and that's why, you know, he's training with real pro fighters, is that he's not just in the gym like hitting the punch bag. He's with a real team. He's training with real guys, and they're teaching him these things. And there's going to be a lot of footage for them to go back, watch this fight, and be like, hey, wow, like this is what you have to do. Instead of holding him here, you need to create distance, you need to create posture, and get leverage on your punches. You know, bring him from the ceiling and land big hammer fists and big shots. And, you know, he's going to watch this, and he's going to be like, that's what I need to do, and he's going to work on it. And, you know, that's what makes a champion, you know, building and learning from your mistakes.
Yeah, you can really see the wrestling dictating where the fight takes place.
I want to give a quick shout out while I can, because sometimes I never get a chance at the end. Jeff Aronson, Lex McMahon, Ozzy Martinez, Serge Rodriguez, Mike Moran, Ms. Barbara, the whole gang. And of course, Ty, Justin, Dimitri Ruddle, everybody who's helped us put this show on. Just huge props, huge thank you to you guys. In case we don't get to say that at the end, in case we run out of time. It takes a family, it takes a huge family to put on one of these shows.
Yeah, no doubt. And through these times, obviously, like, you know, with the things coming back, there's a lot of commotion going on and things. And, man, this show is perfectly organized. You know, Lex has done a great job of bringing shows back to South Florida, bringing the entertainment back, bringing back what the fans want. And, you know, he's not just doing it, you know, for his promotion, but he's doing it for the fans. He's doing it for the fighters, you know. Lex really has a lot of passion for the fighters, you know. And Jeff is also one of the owners of Titan FC, Jeff Aronson. He loves fighting, man. He was watching me 12 years ago when I was fighting my first amateur fights, man. So these guys are fight fans, not just fight fans, but they're not just owners of Titan FC, but they're also fight fans.
Meantime, another mount for Savage. He's going to free up that left leg.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get that full mount and actually posture up like you were talking about earlier and drop some bombs.
Yeah, I mean, this is just right here is, you know, Richie is doing a great job in this fight. He's dominated all 3 rounds, but this is just inexperience. I mean, it is his first fight. He's doing a great job controlling the whole fight, and he's going to be able to go back, learn a lot from this, and see where he could do the damage. I mean, it's a completely dominant performance. He's doing great. Vega has hung in there. He showed how tough he is and showed how nails. But the truth about this sport is, the hard truth is this is an entertainment business. Yeah. This is the entertainment business. Fans want to see entertainment. They want to see big punches. They want to see big shots. They want to see big slams. But Richie's cruising his way to a solid W.
He's got him stretched out here. I think he looks to posture up and get this big finish, man. I really think
everybody wants it. I think everybody wants it besides, you know, Vega's team, but it's what it is, man. It's tough to be Vega
Great
coming
debut.
in there, but you got to give a lot of respect to the kid, man. He's nails. He's hung in there. He's fighting through, and he's fighting to the end. I mean, he's going for a half guard sweep here, maybe even go for a leg lock. I mean, I think that's the only thing that Vega could do right now to try to get out of this.
30 seconds to go in the fight. Vega trying to get out of danger here, and, you know, Richie's really doing what he needs to do, man. He's going to finish it out. Like you say, he'll go look at the tape, see what he wanted to do differently, see what he liked, what he did. His coaches will be able to really, you know, strategize for their next event based on this video.
And I mean, we got a new fighter now. Richie the Savage Lewis, man, is now a 1-0 professional fighter.
Yeah, that was dominant. Great debut.
He went for the big right hand to finish it. And now he's waving Vega off.